as always, we've got merch for the channel. We have our Nerd Creative range and our Stay Creative range. Links in the description. Get whatever you want. Creatives, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to the Nerd Creative channel. Fanhome Star Wars Darth Vader, building the legendary Sith Lord. In this video, we'll be completing stage 2 of the build. Grab yourself a coffee, sit back, relax and enjoy. So with every stage of the build comes with component parts and a magazine. These are the component parts, really big component parts for stage 2. So that's really good. And that is of the model. When I was building the DeLorean, I used to think that the picture on the front of the magazine was of the car, the real car from the films, but it wasn't. It's actually of the model, and it's the same here. Wow. The first step of a Sith Lord. I'm going to have a really good read through these. There's a comic from the comic books. Some really good graphics here. Stormtroopers. I don't know who these two guys are. The Sith Lords, but I don't know who they are. And that's the legendary fight from Obi-Wan. There's General Tarkin. Tarkin. Is that from? I wonder if that's from the animated series, maybe. Played by Vincent Price. Yeah. No. Yeah, Peter Cushing. Vincent Price. Peter Cushing. Yeah, played by Peter Cushing in the original trilogy. Yeah. I wonder if it is from the animated series. Clone Wars. Yeah, it is from the Clone Wars. Yeah. So these are all the components that come in this, and there is quite a lot. And then we've got our step-by-step instructions until we get to this stage here, where we look like we've got the lower, I think, is that the helmet upside down? I think that's the lower, and the upper part, yeah, the lower, and that's like the jaw part, and that's the breathing part. The mask part, that's a really good graphic there. I know more about Star Trek than I do about Star Wars, but I do know enough about. I don't know everything about Star Wars, but I'll soon find out from reading these magazines. So, as always, what I like to do is I like to make sure. Yeah, that's definitely the Clone Wars. What I like to do is fold this in half, is make sure what it says that we're supposed to have here, that we have here. But like with stage 1, I'm not going to take everything out because we may not be using everything, and I don't want to lose any pieces. So I'm just going to get it open like that, of course, without damaging any of the components inside. Separate the cardboard. There you got the Disney and Lucasfilm logo at the bottom, 2024. So I'm going to separate the two blisters. If I can. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got this piece here, that the center band. Then we've got DV2, which is here. DVT is a blue cylinder and a red cylinder. Maybe it's these. Yeah, it's these. Red cylinder and blue cylinder. Let's just have a look. Yep, that one's red. That one's blue. And we've got DV4, which is this, which is a switches block. Then we've got DV5, which is these two here. I do believe. Yeah, there's two there. And they are silver switches. Then we've got DV6, which is here. It's quite big. DV6 is main body for respirator support. DV7, like a wire. Yeah, that's DV7 there. DV7 is 12mm voice box, and then DV8 is this, which is the motion sensor there with a wire. DV9 and DV10 are these two triangle pieces here, which are right respirator support, left respirator support. DV11, which is this, is internal mount projector. And DV12, well, that's DV12. So that's projector 1 and that's projector 2. And 13 and 14 are here. Are left eye cover, right eye cover. And we've got two small pieces there, which are DV15, which are forehead circuits. Then we've got 16, which is there. 16 is there, and 16 is voice box support. 17 is voice box grill. 18 is here. That's quite a big piece there. Where's 18? Yeah, this is 18 here. This big piece here is neck frame. 19 is here. 19 and 20 are here. So they're right internal neck form and left internal neck form. And then we've got 21, which is there. This piece here, central internal neck form. And then we've got 6 type A screws and 3 type A, 6 type A screws. It must probably include the screws that we got. Let's have a look. Yeah, what screws? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we should have 3 of these. There's probably 2 there, and then 2 in the last, in stage 1. So we've got everything. There's quite a long list, although we may not use everything on here, like in other builds that we've done, and in stage 1 of this. So yeah, wow, that's really good. So I'm gonna put that aside as it is. So we've got our screws, we've got our screwdriver, we've got our components, we've got our magazine. Let's begin. Yeah, so the first thing we've got to do is we've got to bring the left side helmet back. Just Need to keep it clean and unscratched. I might actually put some paper towel down just to stop the helmet from getting scratched, because I want to look after it. So here, that's the way it goes, as you can see. So it says we start off by putting, see there's holes, there's like let me just show you. So this is called the middle section here, and there's two location lugs there. They call them internal pins. Two pins there, 2 pins there, 2 pins there, and 2 pins there. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me see. Yeah, it says. So it says there's 4 in the middle. Yep. And then 2 at either end. But they're more like, yeah. That's correct. So it says first slot in the 4 in the middle. So you've got to do the 4 in the middle, because there's another side to this helmet. So instead of there being, just checking, yeah, instead of there being, 2 holes here, there's only 1 hole on each side. So I'm going to start putting them together, slotting those pins in place, like that. Follow it round, get this side in, the kind of long kind of protruding. So I'm going to get this one in first. Okay, that one's in. These are quite easy to go in. That goes in there, that one there, and this one is another long kind of protruding one in there. Clicks in place. There we go. That's the half, and that's the central band there in place. So I'm going to leave that on top of this paper towel, because I've scratched a little bit of my DeLorean from tipping it upside down and turning it around, and there's like screws and stuff, and it scratched it a little bit, which is not great, but I didn't realise. So I'm going to use paper towel down when it comes to things like Darth Vader's helmet and pretty much every build moving forward. So we've got to secure these inside. Which way around it goes. Yeah, there's two holes there for screws, I believe, here and here. So we've got to use 2 B screws. As you can see, they're labelled. As you can see, A screws and B screws. So we need a couple of B screws. I'm going to keep them in these bags because I haven't got any of these containers left to put. There we go. So I've got to load a screw or the screwdriver, like that. That holds the central plate in place. See, there's any more screws. There's one there. There's probably one on the right side of the helmet that we don't have yet. So that's good. It secures it in place. So the other screw goes in this hole here. As you can see, it's screwing in nicely. Oops, slipped out a little bit. And that just stops that from falling off, because the pins. There we go. See that? Screw in that, and that kind of holds that in place. We'll be moving on to the main body respirator, which is here, and then we've got our 2 cylinders, our black and red ones. We have our 3 buttons together, and then our 2 separate buttons there. So what we've got to do is we've got to get DV2, which is black. So DV2 is black, that's this one here. And we've got to slot them in place. I'm not sure which way they go onto the upper part of the respirator in order shown. Okay, so we hold it like this, where the hole is at the top there, and then we put the black one in first, but I don't know which way around it goes. No, I don't. Although it's probably not going to be seen. So I'm just going to put it in like that. No, that doesn't fit. Turn it round. So it's just seeing where it goes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know which way around it goes, so I'm just going to put the black one in here. And spin it around, because maybe it only goes in one way. Yeah, it only goes in one way. There's the black cylinder in. We've got to put the red cylinder in, which is here, and the red cylinder goes up here. Just making sure making sure it pushes in. A click, there we go. That's our black and red cylinders in. So the next thing is these 3 buttons, and the 3 buttons go here. They cover up this hole. So there's 2 pins there and 1 pin, so they match up. Just get them in place. Let's get them lined up. Just get them 2 in there, right? Yeah, they're just pushed in place and they don't fall out there. Then we get DV05, and these are both the same, so it doesn't really matter where these go. I suppose it only matters which way they go. Right, they go that way, the same way as these buttons there. Just get them. There's one. Get the other one in. Yeah, they just push into place, which is really, really good, because they're a tight fit, so that they don't fall out. There. So we've got our 2 cylinders, we've got our 3 buttons, and then our 2 separate buttons there. As you can see, that looks really good. Okay, the next thing is we've got to get the right and left supports, which are these, and they have 2 pins on each side. So one goes on left and one goes on right. So we've got 2 holes there, and then I'm hoping I'm putting these on the right way around. Like that one in there, like that, and this one on the other side. Right, I'm hoping they're on the right way around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap them over just to see if they do go the other way. Nope. Yeah, they only go this way. So as you can see, the 2 holes and the 2 pins just match them up like that. and they just push into place. There's no screws required. So I brought the mask from stage 1, and we've got these two. The 4 head circuits, and they're both the same, and they've got to be pushed in here. So I'm just wondering which way round they go, because they both look the same. Yeah, they both look the same, and they go here. See that in that hole and in that hole. So I'm just going to push them in and just see if I'm putting them in the right way around. Start off with. Whichever way they go in. They don't seem to want to go in as they click on with 2 pegs. Yeah, I got them in there, left and right. They only go in one way, so I had to kind of fiddle around with them, but yeah, there we go. I brought the mask back, and we've got to turn it over this way, and we've got to put DV12, which is the mask protector, and it slots on there. There's two screw holes there, so let's just lay it down, and that sits on there like that, and it goes this way up with the, see this raised area facing upwards, so that goes there, and it's held in place by 2 A screws. I'll open this bag up in the corner so that I don't lose any screws, because there we go, there's 2 A screws there, because I don't have any containers for them at the moment. I'm gonna have to get some, so we'll put 1 screw in there. It's a bit fiddly. Let me just hold it in place and start screwing it in. I won't get it in tight until I get the other one in. As you can see what I'm doing there, I'm screwing in there, like there, that screw in there. So I'm going to put the other one in the other side and tighten it up. And the next thing we've got to do is we've got to get this silver one here, which is the internal mouth projector 1, and that's the internal mouth projector 2, As you can see, there's a hole there for a screw, and it sits on top, and it goes this way up with this circle section here and those two at the top, and it should just slot into place like that. There. Just make sure we get it there. And that's held into place by another A screw. Just pop one out of here. Just load it up. A little bit fiddly as always. Just hold that there. It's not going in straight. Let's just I don't want to press too hard because it's plastic, so I'm just going to support it with that's that screw there. Wow, look at that. It's really taking shape. Last thing we've got to do is we've got to take this neck piece here, as you can see. We turn it over like that, and we get these foam pieces. I had to play around with it because I didn't know where they actually went, but they actually line the inside here like that. So I'm going to peel this one off first. Goes there. There's actually a guide in there to show you where it goes, like that. It goes all the way in there like that, as you can see there. And then the other piece goes on the other side. The instructions don't really tell you, because I thought they went down here or here, but they didn't really fit, so I kind of had to play around with it. Just think that goes under there, and that sits right there like that. So I'll just peel this one off. And it goes on the inside. It shows you where it goes. It's kind of like a, see that? See the outline like that? So it roughly shows you where it goes there. So that goes in, hang on. That goes in there. And then it will sit underneath this and go all the way around there. Like that, on the inside. It's almost like a comfort pads for the wearer. And then we have this third one, and it goes in here. Seeing if it shows, so I think it goes. I'm seeing exactly where it goes. Right, okay. So it goes here. It goes right there, as you can see. It sits right there in the middle. So I'm just going to peel it off. And I think it's for the guy, I can't remember his first name, Prowl, who wore. So it goes in that way like that, and you've got to kind of line it up there in the centre, so it goes like that there, and it protects the wearer, although this won't be worn. But yeah, there, as you can see, got the pads inside. That one's not on properly. I don't think I can peel it off again. No, I didn't get it quite right, but if I can just push it underneath there like that, there, it's a little bit, but see, the other side is perfect. So that's the neck part there, and at some point, not now, but these two pieces will go together like that to create, let me just zoom out a bit, you can't see everything, zoom out there, so that you can see how they would go together. The magnetic, so I think it's designed so that you can remove it. So there we go, that's it. And that completes. See, there's the first, the mask part, and that's the neck part completed, and that completes stage 2 of the build. I'd like to thank you for your company. I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative.